Okay, this is now going to be a chapter excerpt from this book, an earlier book of mine called Straight A's at Stanford and On to Harvard. Just to let you know, this is a good book for students. This is the best book you could buy a student who's in the age of high school to college to grad school age. It basically explains how did I go from being a lousy student in high school to being an A+ student in college at Stanford and graduating first in my medical school class. Just so you know, if you decide you want to buy these for a student, you want to get the smaller one. See, the smaller one is much smaller. It's called Straight A at Stanford, On to Harvard, Teenager Version. How to become a great student, because this one just goes through study skills. This other one's about 2 or 3 times as long, and it's full of quotes about education, educational theories. There's nutrition stuff in here, and this one's too much, I think, for like a high school kid. College kid can handle it, but they don't need all that. This is the one. So if you decide you're interested in the book, this is the one. It's a great Christmas present, by the way. Okay, so here's the magic bathroom. How did I figure out the magic bathroom? Again, I'm always under time pressure, so I have to be very, very efficient. So what I figured out was I could learn tons of stuff in the bathroom because I go in there so much. This is a portable table in front of the loo, so I'll always have a big book on here typically to read. I'll have a paperback, something usually up on the counter, little table next to it to read that quickly. I'll tape to the bathroom wall all these pictures. This is stuff I was reviewing at the time of this picture was for my neuroradiology board's renewal, CAQ, Certificate of Added Qualifications, for example. Okay, so photo is the author in the magic bathroom. Photos are grouped by topic and taped to the walls. Miniature writing table next to the sink. Inspirational mentors, I have their photographs on the wall. There's Rodney Dangerfield. I loved him as a comedian. There's Caldwell Esselstyn, the great nutrition doctor. Here is Victor Hugo, the great writer. Some great ancient Greek writers, etc. Okay. Here's me standing up in the magic bathroom, and I had a little table in here. When I was brushing my teeth, I'd listen to an audiobook, or flossing my teeth, I'd listen to an audiobook. When I'm shaving, I'd listen to an audiobook. So that's how I would get through tons of books. I went through a phase where I was reading 5 books a week. Anyways, like if I'm interested in something, I will just start soaking up that information so I will be prepared to write about it. For example, I had a little table in here. I was interested in learning languages. I spent a while where I was teaching myself languages, and I really liked that. I just didn't have people to talk to. I would read books in other languages, but you really want to have somebody to talk to sustain it. This is a little translator here for Spanish. Very nice. Okay, sort of then the interesting thing becomes, well, where did I get the idea for all this stuff? Okay, and it came from a couple places. I was reading the book called The House of God about doing an internship at Beth Israel Hospital, Harvard-affiliated hospital, by Samuel Shem, and one of the jokes in the book was there's a lot of money in shit, okay, and that came from the guy who was the fat man who was going into gastroenterology, a clever, funny guy. And it started getting me thinking, how can I learn more? There were so many things I wanted to learn, I just didn't have time. And I said, can I get more out of the bathroom? I started taping pictures to the wall when I was studying for boards. And then I heard that Mozart used to like to write letters when he was sitting on the loo. He had diarrhea or something, and he would write, I think it only fitting to write while shitting. And I'm like, gee, I could do something useful on the loo, and I could read. I could make sure I'm always reading, because a lot of times a big, thick textbook, it's kind of intimidating. You don't want to open it up, okay? But on the loo, you got nothing else to do. It's entertainment. And so I started finding I could read textbooks more efficiently if I just put them in that room. I would always make sure I got through a page, and I would suddenly get through entire chapters. And so then the other things, too, is I heard the Monty Python skit, Every Sperm is Sacred, and I thought, well, gee, I could also read while I'm voiding. Every void is sacred. So I'd always have a paperback book on that extra table. And to read on the loo, you have to have a little portable table you can move with your foot to always have a book in there. Okay, so who says men can't multitask? I read every week to this day, at least one book in that bathroom every week. And I said, in a sense, this is like modern day alchemy. You turn wasted time in the bathroom into educational stuff. Like I said, if I read, let's say, a book a week, I'm reading 52 books a year in the bathroom. That adds up, So feces wasted time is turned into gold. Knowledge, modern day alchemy. Who says you can't polish a turd? I had a CD player next to the bathroom. I listened to audiobooks, like I said, when I was flossing, brushing, and shaving. I even went through a phase where I bought a battery operated radio and I played that was in the shower. That didn't work so well though. I didn't like that. So I stopped doing that. The magic bathroom is all about tandem processing, meaning that you can't do two simultaneous brain activities, but it doesn't take any brains really to take a shower, to shave, etc. So that's a different part of your body, like a visceral activity. And you can do those two things at the same time. So people will often say to me, well, you know, I have no time to read. I have no time to read. How do you read so much? And I'll say, well, the way I read so much is I always read in the bathroom and I always listen to an audiobook in the car. And that just adds up over time. And that's one of the main things people will notice about me that really actually know me. I'm real simple. That's why I can be so efficient. And I soak up tons of information. That was sort of like my intellectual skill. Because there's other people I think who got higher IQs than me, but they don't have a